What's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and in this video I'm just going to go over my personal highlights with last night's Nintendo Direct. So, as you probably know, Nintendo Direct happened last night at 11 p.m. UK time, which shares time with Ireland over here. But the strange thing about it is that only Nintendo could have a serious event on April Fool's Day while everyone else is making developer jokes and publisher jokes and all shit like that. But it was pretty good. This is going to be my highlights of the stuff that I thought was very interesting. There's more stuff on it, on the actual Nintendo Direct, but I'm just specifically going over the stuff that I thought was nice or interesting, or just in a couple of things just was it was very good. So I have it all pretty much laid out, so let's get going on this anyway. First up is Mario Kart 8. So Mario Kart 8 has a second DLC coming. We all knew that already. It's the Animal Crossing DLC. It adds a couple of new characters, a couple of new vehicles that can all be customized and interchanged, and adds what's basically 8 new tracks because it's got 2 new cups. So this was available for purchase as a bundle a while back, last year I believe it was. So if you bought that, you got the 2 DLCs, which was one was mainly Zelda themed, this one was Animal Crossing themed, and you got them for a discount. Now originally it was supposed to come out in May. This second DLC was supposed to come out in May, but it's actually going to come out this month. They've pushed the release date forward to the 23rd. So I'm pretty happy about that anyway. I've been holding off playing Mario Kart 8 again, which I've been wanting to play, but I kept telling myself I'm just going to wait for the new DLC, and that way it'll have some new stuff for me to get into. So the main things it includes new characters: Villager, Isabelle, Dry Bowser. We've all said several vehicles as well. They've really released 2 of them, which are the City Tripper and the Street. I'm not sure if it was Street E or Street O. It was kind of hard to see. They're the 2 vehicles that they talked about, at least, or that they showed off properly. And the 2 new cups are called the Crossing and Bell Cups. So everything is Animal Crossing themed, and it's going to be out on April 23rd. So that's pretty nice because it's, like I said already, it's a good game. It's definitely a fun game, and it's going to be nice to have new content. Now, at the same time, on the same day, they're going to release a patch for Mario Kart. This is a free patch. It's just a software update, basically, to add compatibility, or it might even add the content to the game if you just might not be able to access it if you haven't bought it. But the main thing this free update adds is it's going to add a new difficulty level for the first time in Mario. So we've all had 50cc, 100cc, and 150cc ever since Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo. And ever since then, they've all been increasing difficulty. You've got the 50cc, which is pretty easy. You've got the 100cc, which is your standard normal difficulty. And you've got 150cc, which is a little bit harder. You know, you've got to utilize some of the extra effects and tips and tricks and all that. And now, since they're adding 200cc, it's supposed to be considerably faster, and obviously it's going to require even more, braking, maneuvering, and all better use of items and all that kind of stuff. Just because it's going to, it's going to be faster, so it's going to be more difficult at the same time, which is nice because personally I usually play on either 100 or 150cc, mostly 100. Sometimes I feel like the challenge of 150, but generally I have the most fun on 100cc, so I usually just play like that. But I will try out the 200cc at the same time once it comes out and see how that takes. So next up, we have this is a big-ish announcement that I was very happy with, that they're going to start releasing Nintendo 64 and Nintendo DS games on the Wii U Virtual Console. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Now, so far they've only announced 4 titles. That's 2 N64 titles and 2 DS titles. And the first one of the N64 bundle is going to be Super Mario 64, as expected. Now, it was supposed to be on the eShop immediately following the end of the Nintendo Direct last night. Now, over the course of the next hour, maybe hour and 20 minutes, because it finished shortly before 12 midnight last night. I kept checking it up until around 1 a.m. and it still hadn't shown up. So I just said, fuck it, I'm going to wait. And they update the store, the eShop store here anyways, on Thursday afternoons, which is today, later today. So I just said I'd just wait for it and I'll check what's new and I'll just go from there. And in a couple of weeks, we're going to have Donkey Kong 64. So we have Super Mario 64 and Donkey Kong 64. Both great games. I actually have both of them upstairs on my actual N64. I have the box copies of both games, including the expansion pack for Donkey Kong. But I'll most likely buy them on the Wii U anyway, because I have Super Mario 64 on my Wii account, which I transferred to my Wii U account, so I get it for like $150 or something like that. And you have Donkey Kong 64 as well. I do have €10 credit on my Wii U account, so I basically get both games for free because I got the credit for free, so that's a bonus. And on the DS side, you've got WarioWare Touched and Mario Kart DS. So the nice thing about the DS games is they showed two different screen types for your Wii U. On one of them, they showed you can play the top screen of the DS on your TV and the bottom touch screen on your touch screen gamepad for the Wii U, which it'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty accurate, if you ask me, a pretty accurate way of doing it. Or what you can do is you can do it entirely on the TV, and if you do play it entirely on the TV, according to the video they showed off at least, it will show an actual entire 3DS, bezel, sides, buttons, all that kind of stuff. It'll actually show it on the TV itself. It leaves kind of borders on the side because it does give smaller screen sizes because of it, but I think everyone should be happy with the version to play with the two separate screens, because that's the way I'm going to play it if I do get around to them anyway. There's also one little bonus as well out of Super Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64, WarioWare Touched and Mario Kart DS. If you buy 3 of these games, no matter which 3, you can actually download the 4th one for free if you buy them all between April 1st and April 16th. So if you're happy to get at least 3 of those games, you'll get a 4th one for free anyway. So that's pretty. Oh no! There's one last thing we'll touch on real quick. That since we all know they've added Wii games to the EU Virtual Store or the EU Virtual Shop now, Virtual Console, eShop, whatever you want to call it. That there's going to be 2 new games coming fairly soon. They didn't release an exact date, but the 2 new games are going to be Sin and Punishment: Successor of the Skies. Not really sure about that game. I haven't played it or anything like that. And then you have Pandora's Tower. Now, Pandora's Tower is a decent game, and especially for a lot of people, especially Americans, it's going to be a nice addition to the eShop, because Pandora's Tower was one of those games in a small series, a small window of releases that became instantly hard to find and instantly rare. And if you lived in the US, it became extremely hard and even rarer to actually get, to the point where GameStop in the US were selling pre-owned copies of Pandora's Tower for over $100. I had seen reports of GameStop selling it for up to $175 pre-owned. So that's pretty crazy for a standard edition. I did mention a couple of those other games. I mentioned that it was part of a small series of games that was kind of really hard to get. You had Pandora's Tower, The Last Story, Xenoblade Chronicles. There was one other game that I can't remember off the top of my head, but it'll be nice for some people to be able to play Pandora's Tower without a pain in the head trying to find it everywhere or paying extra massive crazy prices for it. So that's going to be a nice bonus for those people. Next up, we have Fatal Frame, which is good. It's Fatal Frame 5, aka Project Zero 5, which was released on the Wii U in Japan already. Now, the Fatal Frame series and this game in particular are both highly rated, highly critically acclaimed. So it's finally getting ported to Europe. Now, I watched the European Nintendo Direct last night, so it may be coming to America as well. But in the one I watched, it only mentioned Europe because European one. So it's going to be ported as Fatal Frame U, originally. Well, it will be called. It'll be a localization of the original game, like I said, which was originally called Fatal Frame 5: The Black-Haired Shrine Maiden, which released last year in Japan. Anyway, the cool thing about it is it's one of the games. It's kind of like Zombie U, that it will utilize the touchscreen or the gamepad fairly well. So if you're not familiar with the Fatal Frame series, which you should be, so hint hint. What you do is it's a cool survival horror / just general horror game, and you have a camera. Excuse me. And the camera can help you see the spirits and all, deal with them and all that. But what you can do is you hold up the actual gamepad, and it's the viewfinder. The screen on it is the viewfinder on the camera. So you look around and all that. Hopefully it's going to be good. The game looks good, and hopefully with the integration they have on the gamepad is going to be the nicest side of it. Now, I'm saving the two best ones for last, so we're going to start with the first one. This one has both plus and negative sides of it as well. So they finally showed off a significant amount of stuff last night for the new Fire Emblem game on the 3DS. Now, it looks beast. That's all I can say. It looks fucking beast. The last Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Awakening, that was available on the 3DS, was also beast. So I've really high expectations for this, especially when you consider that Intelligent Systems make absolutely amazing games. I've got almost every game they have, and they're all good. They're really, really good at making strategy games. It's fantastic. Now, I'll have a link to the trailer for this below, because Nintendo are weird about how they have their, about putting footage and all in the videos. So I'm going to leave links separately in the description below so that there's no issues or anything like that. But what kind of throws me off with the new Fire Emblem, now this information is just for Japan at the moment because, we haven't heard much about it. But we all know, if you watch the Nintendo Direct at least, that there's two stories in the game. Basically there's two warring factions, two warring sides, and you get to play as either one. Your character is the actual main protagonist in this one, so because of that you can play on either side, and you'll have a different story. Now, it came out overnight that in Japan at least, that actually is two separate versions of the game. You have the you've got the, if you will, the light side, or you've got the dark side. Well, if you'd excuse the obvious innuendo on that one. I won't go into the other versions and all, because so far they're just Japanese exclusive. But so far, that's two different games for some. Now, I realize they're probably going to Pokemon, because they have said the story is the same. You're just playing it from opposite sides. So one of them is the dark side is supposedly a bit more difficult, and the light side, if you will, is supposed to be a bit easier and has a more traditional style story. So it's going to be fantastic regardless, because it's Intelligent Systems, it's Fire Emblem, it's the 3DS shit. It's anything with a Fire Emblem game on it. So it's going to be amazing regardless. So I'll have, like I said a minute ago, I will have the trailer below in the comment section. I definitely recommend trying it out. And last but not least, I specifically saved this one for last because it's just going to be blowing my mind. But Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem has finally got a new trailer and a new bit of info. So once again, I'll have this trailer as well in the comment section below. And yeah, we'll move on to the info on this game. The trailer looks fantastic anyway. But the game is for Wii U. It's come out with a full title so far. It's called Illusory Revelations #FE, which is, yes, a mouthful, but it's SMTX Fire Emblem, so it's going to be beast regardless of whatever they call it. They could call it fucking card games on motorcycles or some shit, and I would buy it, because it's two of the best series combined together. So I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. It's one of the, in typical Shin Megami Tensei fashion, or at least Persona fashion, which is the offshoot of SMT. But it's set in modern day Japan, or modern day Tokyo. Well, obviously Tokyo's in Japan, but Jesus Christ, it looks so good. And unfortunately, there's no more information on this short of the new trailer, and it was basically just them showing that we haven't given up on it, we haven't forgot about it. There's actual progress being made on it. So, like I said, it's a Wii U game. It's gonna be out at some point, and I can't fucking wait. That's it. I'm gonna have the trailer in the section below again, just because I really recommend you watch those 2 trailers: the Fire Emblem trailer and we'll just call it Illusory Revelations #FE. Jesus, that's going to be a mouthful to say. Not that the original title, SMTX Fire Emblem, wasn't a mouthful as it is. So that's pretty much everything that I felt was really important that they showed off in the Nintendo Direct last night. There was one thing that they didn't show off that I was a little disappointed that they didn't give a small update on. One of my friends was going crazy that there was no Zelda info because, well, it's already been delayed. But he was hoping for maybe an official announcement in the video or some sort of other announcement on it. But he got a bit disappointed by that. But as for me, I was a bit disappointed that they didn't show off or talk about anything to do with Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U. I'm really looking forward to that game, and I would have liked a nice little bit of extra info on it. But that's pretty much the end of my highlights and everything I thought was good and interesting on the Nintendo Direct from last night on the 1st of April. So let me know in the comment section below about any of the games you're looking forward to that they did show off, or that they didn't show off, or that they did show off and I personally wasn't really interested in it, because I wasn't going to cover the entire Nintendo Direct team, because I don't feel like I'm doing one of those news channels or anything, so we'll just leave it at that. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter, because that's set up and running now, and I'm definitely getting more active on it. Watch those 2 trailers. I might even include the Fatal Frame trailer as well, if that's up as well. I'll have the 3 trailers in the section below, so watch all 3 of them. You've already hit the like button, you've already hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the rest of the videos in my channel while we all wait on Xenoblade Chronicles X later this year, I hope.